Artists come and go, like you said, you've had other artists and maybe you were too in front and you have to start over. How do y'all know who to stick beside? Like, yo, we got to keep going with him because he's going to make it. He's going to be the one. What's that like, that perseverance?
We don't pick and choose. We just, we put our arm around all of them and we stay there to the end. That's just what we do. That's our company. That's our makeup. We do it to each other. So you stick through thick and thin with all three of us. We do it with the artists. We just help them develop, help them learn new things. Everybody's good at one thing, and we just stick in there and make sure these artists are right, man. You can't pick and choose who you want. But like all of our artists, all of them have a vision. We had a vision. We stick with artists that have a vision.
Atlanta-based record label Generation Now. Give them some love right now. Yes. Is built on a new foundational infrastructure for the young creative economy. Philadelphia, PA natives DJ Drama.
West Philly.
Don Cannon.
West Philly.
And Los Angeles bred Lake Morrison.
Right, yeah, LA.
Yeah. Philly bred. He's a Philly bred.
Round of applause for Generation Now. So Cannon, it's safe to say that you're like the A&R behind everything, right?
Yeah, you can say that. Yep.
Yeah. How do you go about finding your talent? So if Lil Uzi Vert was the first, what did you see?
We like to jump in and make things from the ground.
Right.
And that's always been our thing. Through the mixtapes, we've always worked with younger people. We worked with Yo Gotti, nobody knew who he was. We worked with Jeezy, nobody knew who he was. For Lil Uzi Vert, for years, people told me in Drum, we need to sign somebody from Philadelphia. And I heard him on the radio, and something of his voice was just in my ear, just like a bee. And I couldn't get rid of it. And I was like, yo, who is this kid?
What's interestingly enough, though, is that, Uzi was not the typical Philly artist or with the Philly sound. Like Little Uzi, who's a rock star, and Jack Harlow, who, was a white rapper from Kentucky who literally looked like Napoleon Dynamite when we signed him, and now is one of the biggest heartthrobs in America or in the world. And it's like, I think that's what's so dope about the culture and just really being from the cloth. I feel like the three of us, and I know definitely myself, I take a lot of pride in being from the cloth. When it comes to hip hop and rap, even when I was making Gangsta Grills and people was telling me Little Brother or Pharrell or I was like, watch this.
And while you're talking about how Jack went from Napoleon Dynamite to complete sex symbol, and Uzi went from kid from Philly to absolute rock star. Even y'all have Sunny Digital now. How are you guys able to nurture your artist's vision and not change them, but allow them to grow and evolve into the artist that they really want to be?
I think you got to be a good listener, and that's the toughest part, because a lot of times you bring your history into a relationship with an artist and you look at them and they're usually younger. So ideally, you're going to think that your knowledge supersedes them, but the truth is it's a young man's game, you know what I mean?
That's right.
Ultimately, you got to listen to them, because usually the good artist knows his path. The good artist knows what direction he wants to go in, where he wants to be, when he wants to get there, and they just need us to help cultivate it a little bit.
We just allowed them to have our shoulders to stand on, you know what I'm saying, to maybe do it somewhat faster, or to be able to walk them into rooms at a time that other people can at that time, and give them the knowledge and the legacy that we bring to the table.
Now, guys, I have to talk about all of the new artists that you guys have coming up. Talk to us about the new artists. What are you guys excited about? What's coming?
Illuminati. Illuminati is a talent that is phenomenal. Bars to the end of the earth.
Bars.
Carvina, our R&B artist. Of course, Sunny Digital, who's already a legend and a
big legend.
DJ Crazy 215 is a producer from Philly that has really been in front of the Philly sound and behind of a lot a lot of the music that's coming out of the city. Obviously, you know, the artist that's performing today, Seddy Hendrinx.
Yeah.
I love Seddy Hendrinx.
Yeah, Sed.
We're super excited about Seddy.
We're here celebrating your crew tonight.
Okay.
And I think it's always important to hear it straight from the source, but to hear from the artist that Generation Now is working with. What's it like working with you guys? With those guys, what's the support been like, and just being a part of that family? Tell me everything.
To be honest, it's a blessing. It's an opportunity, but overall, it's a blessing working with Generation Now. I grew up listening to DJ Drama. I grew up on Don Cannon. So, and meeting Lake Shees, you know, that's the third piece to the pie. So, it's a blessing working over there, man. Like, they real hands-on with the artists. I can call them. I can, like, ask them really anything, you know what I'm saying, versus having to go through assistants and emails on emails. So, I actually say it's a blessing working over there with them legends.
I know there's a lot of artists in the room too, and I think you've been doing this for a while. I read your bio down, so now I know you've been doing this for a while. How do you keep that motivation and keep even being crafty enough to be like, you know, I've dropped tapes before, I've been doing this, I've had people tell me no, I'm still gonna try to kick down the door and say yes, and I guess what advice would you give to all the young artists in the room about not giving up?
I would tell every artist in here not to give up, but also have faith. Faith without work is undone. Ooh. So like I'm at it, I'm pushing at it, I'm going, I know what I want, but I got faith that it's gonna click, it's gonna happen. That's what keeps me going, tape after tape. Even when people say no, like I know what's destined for me, he know what's destined for me, so like I'm gonna just keep going till I actually reach it, till I get there.
You know, you've been ahead of your time, and now you're getting the opportunity. I think that you always deserve, especially being a faithful person. What are you doing to craft that sound that you have that's so original, and making sure that you stand out from every other artist that's dropping on Friday?
I listen to the OGs because, believe it or not, them old heads are very in tune. Those three. I travel a lot. I get different experience. I tap back home, just to help like craft my sound and keep me different from the rest. I just really stay in tune with myself and like nature. Nature be helping me come up with all type of stuff.
Without further ado, if you can please give Toronto a warm welcome. They came here all the way from Toronto just to do this for the love. So please give Division a warm hand of applause.
85, you've had an incredible career of helping artists find their next thing. What's going on with Division right now? What is this evolution that you guys are going through in music? And you, along with many others, are behind the sound. So talk to us about the future, really the present, because this album's coming fast. The future of Division.
Right now you're seeing us growing, and I think that's in almost every area, from management on down. You know, LVRN really came in and changed our perspective, and I think changed a lot of people's perspective of us. And then you add in guys like Brian Michael Cox, Jermaine Dupri, and I think we've just stepped up to a whole different level.
You guys put out this incredible record, and I'm going to say it was incredible because it caused a lot of conversation, which of course is what we set out to do. I want you to be able to explain, not yourself, this song, right? Because people listen, I feel like, only with one ear when they hear this song. And it's actually, it's not so bad. You're actually talking about something real and honest.
The record was actually written not from the perspective of somebody that was cheating. It was written from the perspective of somebody that's in a relationship with someone that's starting to get uneasy about whether or not their person is, you know, outside and doing shit. And it's coming from a place where it's like, you know, how did all the things that attracted you to me turn into your insecurities? You liked me because, you know, I dressed well, I'm a good-looking dude, I talk, you know, my energy's good, I'm funny, but now it's turned into, you know, where you getting dressed, where you going, you know, you're always smiling in people's faces. It's, you know, the same, how many women in here can relate to a guy that met you dressed a certain way, and all of a sudden it's, oh, where are you going? Are you going out with the same girlfriends? Are you guys going to R&B Wednesday with your, you know what I mean? The same thing, right? It's something that we all deal with, and that turns into the insecurities, which then turns into actions that, you know, cause questions. It's like now you're digging through the phones and you're checking messages and Instagram followers and XYZ. Are you looking for a reason to fight, or are you looking for a reason to leave? Is really the real question. And if you're really trying to leave, it's like, why? When even if I was to do that, hypothetically, if I was to do that, the reason behind that wouldn't be, I fell out of love with you today and now all of a sudden I'm doing this. No, the reason that people cheat, when you get to the actual basis of it, a lot of times it's an ego-driven thing. It's a selfish, self-indulgent, dumbass, whatever move that people make for themselves that usually, especially with men, usually very rarely has to do with their partner.
You guys are working on something very special, very, very special. And there's this like incredibly strange conversation going on that like R&B is dead. It's incredibly strange. And I want to ask you guys how you're a part of making sure that it's alive and well right now and what you guys are working on, getting people ready for like, R&B is not dead at all, it's evolved. And I would love for you to talk about that as someone who's so close to the music and you guys making it.
R&B obviously isn't dead. Clearly, we are in a renaissance of it, no pun intended. And what came together with us was, no, R&B is special. R&B just needs a culture around it. R&B just needs energy around it, the same way rap needs energy around it. You know, so when they were, you know, doing what they're doing in Toronto and building their culture, you know, with the OVO guys, you know, they were like, yo, like, why not come to Atlanta and do the same thing and build that same energy? And they came and they built the energy, and that's what we're starting to see, right? Like, so that's how I look at it. The music is good, the artists are great. It's just the energy and the culture around it and people to kind of, you know, take it and run with it like it's rap. So that's just our viewpoint on, you know, making this shit, because this album is fire.
First of all, can you guys give one more round of applause for Division? Thank you so much to Generation Now for coming and showing us love and allowing us to show them love. Clap it up one time.